what you say, but all I hear is noise. I don't have time for trying my luck. I've been too hurt before. You're not that special. Just give it up. I think I've had enough. I'm too busy loving my friends. I ain't got no love to spare for you. I'ma be that girl to the end.
Yes.
What you do, guess I have to tell you again. Cause you haven't got the news.
I tell you, this is Monday. I love it Monday. Oh my goodness, this is Istv. Istv on Monday. It's always our Monday show today. We're going to talk about so many things, but let's quickly look at the turning point. But first, I'm going to tell you, my name is, they call me the Don of Sport Entertainment on Istv. That is Intercontinental Sport TV. Back again with this video. I tell you, it's going to be loud tonight. Let's quickly look at what we're going to have in stock today. Let me quickly share my video before I start bringing on the analysts for today. I'm telling you, they're all loaded. I have in the studio Barry all the way from United Kingdom. Shayomi, you're also starting Gidigba. Nubian Prince also telling me he's ready. But first, let's quickly look at what we have today. The talking point with WIMBLEDON 2023. You know that guy that dealt with Djokovic. We're going to look at it. I tell you, Messi. I tell you, I gave him a call yesterday. Oh, actually, I'm lying. I tell you, he's in MLS. Back again. Also, we'll be looking at APL transfer G's. I tell you, Barry is going to tell us what's going to be this guy, Declan Rice, is going to bring on to Arsenal FC. So every house, we are all loaded. I tell you, we're also going to be looking at the FIFA Women's World Cup. It's Jaren who is ready. Nigeria is ready. Africa is ready for that tournament. And I'm telling you, categorically this morning or this afternoon, wherever you're watching from, Africa is ready for that big game. Now, let's get this show cracking. I tell you, somebody's already telling us something. What's up, bro? Your Max all the way from Houston. All right, bro. Thanks for showing up on this one. Now, let's do this, people. Let me welcome this man. Everybody's ready, and I'm telling you, he's happy to be an Arsenal fan. He's so happy. He's bossing around. It's ready. Kule's also joining us. I tell you, let me welcome him. I'm talking about Barry. All right, you are happy. Tell me something. What's it?
I did do like Declan Rice.
Yay!
I did do like Declan Rice.
Yay!
I'm so happy to be on ISTV today. Big ups. I'm so happy. Look, it's a great time to be an Arsenal fan right now.
You can hear that.
To dissect, Yeah, let's go. Let's get it.
All right, a round of applause for this man. He's ready. I tell you, he's ready. He's ready. Absolutely ready. Let's give him a big up. You're welcome to the show. I'm going to call on to this man. Nubia Prince, can you hear me loud and clear? This music is for you. You're welcome. You're also an Arsenal fan. You are happy. Talk to me, Nubia. Can you hear me? All right, talk to me, Nubia. Can you hear? I can't be scared. I don't know what's wrong with him. Nubia Prince, can you hear me loud and clear? I can't hear me right now. Let me talk to this guy, whether he's ready. Shayomi Diora. He's a Chelsea fan. He's also a Napoli fan. I don't know what he's doing this season is coming up. Shaye, talk to me. Are you ready? What's going on, bro? Arsenal fan. They are all happy. What's going on, Shaye? You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening, Don. Good evening to Okwe and Nubian Prince and other guys that are going to join, and all our listeners. It's great to be back. I'm actually even pleased for Arsenal because this is actually a huge one for them, because it's been a while since they actually got a really huge transfer win. So I'm willing to see how this pans out. So let's see how it goes. We had a really interesting weekend, particularly at Wimbledon, where Alcaraz won the world peace, because if Djokovic had won that match, he would have equaled Federer's record of 8 Wimbledon titles. So it was quite pleasing to see an upset, because for me that was an upset. And then on the transfer front, Lukaku's transfer saga, Harry Kane's transfer saga as well, with Bayern, Leon is more or less saying Kane wants to join Bayern. So I guess we'll go into everything in the show, but really, I can't wait to hear everything on the show.
All right. I welcome you guys once again. Let me tell our viewers right there on Monday Sports. This is how we do it. It's going to be massive next season. So we have so many things coming up next season. Before the next season, we're going to reveal it to you guys. What you have to do is let me tell you what you got to do. Please subscribe to the channel. Join the community. It's going to be loud next season. I'm just feeling it's going to be better than this next season. Is going to be, it's going to be loaded. So please, this is the station. This is the channel. You can watch every details. We'll be having so many contents coming up. Let me welcome this great woman as well. Margaret is joining us. It's the Manchester United fan. Margaret, talk to me. Onana in the building. I know you are happy. Talk to me. You're ready.
Hey, the Don. Yeah, good evening from here. I can see Okwe, good evening. Jaye, good evening from the beautiful city of Lagos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be here once again. And I am a bit excited because of the Onana news. So we're waiting for more news and hopefully one or two more signings to then United are good to go.
All right, United are good to go. But first, I'm going to ask Okwe. It's looking like he wants Onana. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't get Onana. It's for Manchester United. All right. Kule is trying to join us. I don't know what's going on. Nubia Prince, can you hear me loud and clear? No, I think I can't find him right now. All right, to our viewers, please follow us on all our Twitter handles. Our website is buzzing right now. Check it out. Our website is called www.1istv.com. Check it out. I tell you. Also, you can follow us on our Twitter, which is also at 1istv. That's the station. I'm telling you, the dawn is ready. Buzzing. Now let's start with this. I'm going to welcome once again. Kunle is trying to join me. He's still finding his way inside the dormitory. Kunle, can you hear me loud and clear? Talk to me. You are live, Kunle. Manchester United signing on Onana.
Good evening, Don.
All right.
Sorry, come again.
I said Manchester United welcoming Onana. How you feeling?
I welcome him too. Welcome to a new dispensation.
All right. I know you don't want the gear.
Kole doesn't look excited about Onana's news. I don't know.
Why should how can you read? I don't understand. Can you read my mind? Of course I'm excited about.
You don't feel excited about it. At least United are busy in the transfer window. Isn't that what we wanted?
Yeah.
Sorry, you said what?
I said United are actually busy in the transfer window. Isn't that what we all wanted?
Of course, no. United has been busy, but I think people probably were maybe because like I've said, because United gets so much attention. Like now the Onana deal has been reported for almost like 3 weeks now, and you begin to wonder that isn't this deal supposed to be done? But I try to explain that this is how deals are. Deals are not just maybe done in 1 or 2, 3 days. The likes of Manchester City, Liverpool, even their signings always seem to be straightforward. But trust me, they have been doing negotiations, behind the scenes, but they won't make the headlines because the truth is City, Liverpool don't make headlines like Manchester United would.
Absolutely.
So that's why it would seem as if Manchester United is slow in the transfer market, but they are actually not. Things are really happening, but fans don't have patience. So United are definitely busy in this market.
All right, let's check it out. The talking points for tonight. I'm telling you, Wimbledon 2023. We're going to talk about it. FIFA Women's World Cup. We're going to touch it down. Messi moving to MLS. It was unveiled over the weekend. It was massive, and also we are going to talk about the EPL transfer gist as well. All right, please, people, you got to do me this favor. Smash the like on the video. Let's get cracking. Straight up, let me tell you something. Let me quickly show you what we're going to talk about tonight. Let's talk about this the paper talk, and also what you're seeing on that screen right now. Onana's deal, Kane and Harry Kane. What's going to happen in EPL? Margaret, can you please quickly touch Onana's deal to Manchester United? How are you feeling bringing on what Onana is going to bring on to Manchester United? Margaret, over to you. You're opening the floor tonight. Go for it, bro. My sis, go for it.
Yeah, yes, Onana's deal. Well, I think a lot of United fans are actually happy about this deal because it is what they've actually been waiting for. A replacement for David De Gea, and coupled with the fact that Onana has been with, I've worked before with Eric Ten Hag, so I believe that he knows this man. Eric Ten Hag knows this man. He knows what he can do, especially with his feet. So I'm so excited to see what he's going to bring into United to the squad. But as for him being the first choice goalkeeper is actually what I cannot say right now, because there was actually a rumor that United is going for a Japanese goalkeeper, which is actually younger than Onana, but I still don't see that particular player being the first choice. But then, well, we are not the manager. The manager knows what he wants, so we can't wait to see him. And according to report, when all the deals are finalized, so hopefully he will join United in the US tour very soon. And excited one. So can I touch him with the two Harrys? Can I talk a bit about the two Harrys?
We'll still come back to that. I just want to know how you buzzing on this Onana's deal. Don't mind Okwe Adebari. We'll come back to Okwe later.
All right, yes. Actually so excited. So
all right, I know you're so excited, but let's talk about this great. Let me move on to this next one quickly. Is it the time? I'm going to start with you, Kunle, on this one. Before I now welcome Prof to help us give his opinion on Harry Maguire. Is it the time for him to leave Manchester United? Is it the time for him after being stripped off of the captaincy over the weekend? Coming out yesterday to start telling us on the Twitter and his account page on social media that he's so disappointed. Kunle, over to you. What's your view on this? What's your take on this, on Harry Maguire?
Yes, Harry Maguire 100% has to leave Manchester United. I mean, him coming out to make that statement was a clear indication, because I mean, number one, the statement was kind of absurd, because it's not today that captains were stripped of. Like, there is a change in captain. It's something that happens, but him coming out and that his tweet was actually very lengthy. Now on Twitter, now you can tweet longer once you have a verified account. So it was actually a lengthy post. And what was awkward about it was that him thanking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for giving him, because it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that gave him. He never made any reference to Eric Ten Hag. And for me, I think that is a signal that maybe him and Eric Ten Hag cannot work together. And secondly, I think it just goes to show, because even after, it was not long after, the club too now released the statement on their website thanking Harry Maguire. It was just awkward, but I think what that signifies is that his time is up, and the truth is he needs to leave, because if there's anybody that still values him, it is Gareth Southgate, right? And if he wants to remain a valuable member of the England team, let's not forget that the Euros are next year. There's still the 2026 World Cup coming up in 3 years' time. So if he wants to remain relevant, he needs to be in a club where he will play. Otherwise, I mean, this coming Premier League season, there could be a defender that improves massively from anywhere, from any club. It could even be, maybe, who knows, from one of the newly promoted clubs. And before you know it, Harry Maguire has lost his place. So I think he needs to move on. But the problem and the question is, who will buy him, and who is willing to pay whatever Manchester United is willing, whatever Manchester United's price is. So it's a little bit complicated, but I think the fact remains that Harry Maguire needs to go.
All right, Margaret, what do you want to say? What do you want to talk about on this Harry Maguire saga? Can I call it saga? But talk to me, Margaret. What do
Well,
you feel about Harry Maguire's situation right now?
honestly, like um like he said, I feel it is about time for him to leave because he coming out such kind of at the point after going through those tweets, I was like, why do you have to come out in public and be telling the people who care to listen about you being stripped of the captainship? You were disappointed. Why were you disappointed? In the first place, the fans were actually disappointed that you were given the captain armband in the first place because you just came into a club. You just came in from Leicester City to Man United, and then the first thing he was given was the captain armband,
Captaincy. Yeah.
which actually put pressure on him. And I'm sure that he knows that have been one of the reasons he has not been performing. He didn't perform to 100% because that captain handband was actually it was a big pressure on him. Being the captain of a club like captaining a club like Manchester United is not a mere it's
I'm
not a
telling you.
child's play.
Yeah.
It's not like you just going to Leeds United and then you're being given a captain handbag. It is very easy there. But coming to United, if you look
Wow.
at the captains that United have had, it is not just come immediately and you're given a captain. There are players that know their leaders, players who knows the in and out of that club, who have followed, who know when it comes to winning, they have winning mentality,
Yeah.
leadership qualities, and all of that. Players who are outspoken, who can lead the team, who can speak on behalf of the team, who can inspire the team. And in all of that, I am telling you, I personally have not seen any of those quality in Harry Maguire. And then he just came in from a Leicester City with a huge amount of money that United bought him, and you gave him a captain handbag. I felt Ole didn't actually do him any good. He didn't do him any good. There were players like David De Gea, there were players like Mata on that team. Why didn't you give any of those players the captain handbag and you just give him a guy who just came in from Leicester City who knows nothing about Manchester United, who in few years ago, or let's say a few years ago, was playing in the Championship and then he came into the Premier League. You gave him the captain handbag. No, I feel it is actually time for him to leave because he has not really done enough he has not done it. He has made so many mistakes, so many mistakes. And for a manager like Harry Tenga, who is outspoken, who is a no nonsense manager,
No nonsense
I
manager.
felt that if he sees what you don't like, it was high time for then if you come, you are not in my plan. You can go. But it shouldn't have come out. You've been disappointed. Why were you disappointed? You've been disappointed. Definitely, there is always a change of captainship. We've seen in other clubs, we've seen in Arsenal, we've seen in Chelsea. There's always a change of captainship. It's not like he is the first player that they have changed, that they decided to take the captain handbag from him. So
All right.
it's time for him to leave.
All right. It's time for him to leave. I'm going to ask
I
Prof.
have-
I
Oh,
want to ask
okay.
Prof.
Okay.
You know, as a Chelsea fan, what's your take, Prof? I want to see what do you feel about this situation of Harry Maguire? Is it time for him to leave after being stripped of the captaincy? Prof, talk to me. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, I mean, good evening, everybody. It's good to be here again. I think for Harry Maguire, when a situation like this happens in a club, I think it just signals the end of his
Hmm.
time there because you being a captain of a
Hmm.
ship and you commanded respect and
Hmm.
the leader of these players,
Yeah.
it's demeaning to be stripped of the captaincy, and so he has to leave. But the problem about him leaving is, it's obviously it's the wages. Who would want to pay him the amount? I don't know. I'm not
Hmm.
sure. I'm not sure how much he collects right now in United.
200,000,
200.
200.
That yeah, yeah. So I don't think there's any Premier League club at this moment in time who will be willing to give him that amount of money. And even for Man United, I don't think they've made a replacement for him yet because apart from Varane, Lisandro, and Lindelof,
Lindelof.
who are the recognized centre backs, they're in the Champions League. I still don't see them. They don't have any more centre back, and I'm not they are not in for anyone. They've lost Timber to Arsenal. They were in for him. So I don't know what the plan is in that club at this moment in time. But if Maguire really wants to play, like Kunle said, in the English team, in the England team, he needs to play regularly. I think the trust that Gareth Southgate has on him is bound to
Ah,
wear out. It's bound
mm,
to wear out because there are new English players. Sorry, pardon me, coming up who are staking their claims. We saw the other 21, the likes of Levi Colwell, these players
Cowell, yeah.
who are winning. So they will want to step up this season. So he can't continue to get into that team based on his reputation anymore. He needs to play football. And
Mm.
if I were him, I'll just sort of. It's difficult to say. I would. I mean, to say to reduce his salary and go to another club is difficult. It's a difficult thing for him to do. I think at the end of the day, the ball rests in his court. He has to choose what's good for him and his family and his future.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much, Prof, for
Um,
that insightful talk.
I
I'm going to call on.
can
Kunle,
I
I'm
add
still coming
something?
back.
Oh, okay.
I'm still
All
coming
right.
back to you. Okay, what do you see about this saga? I want to hear from you. From what's your take on this one on Harry Maguire?
Well, I think Harry Maguire's exit from Manchester United is long overdue, if you ask me. Without due respect to him, for the last 2 seasons, he hasn't been up to standard, and
Yeah,
hasn't shown the value of the 80 million pounds that he was bought for. I mean, it's hard for English players to live up to the value which they are bought for, but at the end of the day, the truth is that Harry Maguire was one of the best defenders when he was purchased by Manchester United. So you begin to think, what exactly is the problem? Is it down to the basics or the fundamentals of football, or it's a personal issue which he's going through? I mean, recently, Dele Ali came out to speak about the trauma he had been going through, and then we finally understood why he was having issues on the pitch. Harry Maguire has not come out to say that. To be more specific, Harry Maguire has been picked by England consistently.
yeah,
So it's more about him and his playing style, and probably not being comfortable to play out from the back, even though
mm,
England do that. But we've also seen him make costly mistakes for England. But he has had more impressive performances for England compared to Manchester United. So you then think about what exactly is the problem. There are many
mm,
rumors that he is not well respected in the dressing room. There are several clips where you see David De Gea with the ball. I know when they like to play out from the back, David De Gea refuses to pass the ball to Harry Maguire a lot of times. He would rather
yeah,
look for another alternative. So you can see that there's a rift, obviously, among teammates. You can see also that he most likely does not have the confidence anymore. Not most likely, it is obvious that he lacks confidence from Eric Ten Hag. And Ten Hag has been ruthless in his ways so far. See the way he has eased out Cristiano Ronaldo.
mm-hmm.
Now he has done the same with David De Gea and taking the captaincy of Maguire. I think that is a message to Maguire that, look, you are no longer in my good books. There's probably time for you to leave. And with someone like Victor Lindelof, who came back, from injury last season, he got a good number of games and good running. If he's fit, I believe you have the edge over Maguire in the team. However, United will need to sign another top-class centre-back before letting Harry Maguire go.
All right, Kunle, what do you want to add to it before we switch on to the next one? Kunle, you want to say something?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say, I think like Okbe, like right said earlier, that before Maguire came to Manchester United, he wasn't actually a bad defender. Let's not forget that Manchester City were after this guy, but they were only put off because of
The
high
price.
price Leicester City. If it were to be a case of that, maybe there was a considerable amount that Leicester were asking for, Harry Maguire would have actually been a Manchester City player, and that, I feel, is the reality. So, I think what it comes is that I think him moving to Manchester United was actually wrong from the very beginning, because Manchester United do not play anything close to City. Manchester United play more of a fast-paced, counter-attacking game where everyone is practically on their toes. They are under pressure. It is when they are under pressure that their best performances come out. That is not how Manchester City play. They play calculated, they play a calm game, and that is pretty much how England also play. England don't play under the kind of pressure Manchester United plays in. That kind of like chaos. They are composed, they are calm, they are passers, they have good passers of the ball all around. So I feel that is the kind of thing that makes Harry Maguire right. So I think he's just been in the wrong club. all this while. That's what I think, really, because it just doesn't suit. He is not that chaos kind of player. You can see Martinez. Martinez is built for that chaos, and that is why everybody is praising him. Eric Bailly is built for that chaos, right? But not Harry Maguire. So it begs the question: why did they go and buy him when he is not somebody who can play that high pressure, soaking? Why did they go and buy him? And why did they give? So for me, I think I will have questions for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I feel it is time for him to go to a place where they don't play with such high intensity, with the kind of way Manchester United plays, where everything is just here and there. At least in a place where there's a bit of semblance like how it is in England. And trust me, if he goes to such a team, I don't know which team he will now go to. But if he goes to such a team, I think
the Don. Can I please ask Kule a question?
Okay.
Before you,
if you permit me.
Just hold on. I want to before you ask that question, Nubia Prince. I want to ask something from you about what's your take on Harry Maguire, considering the fact that do you think this guy will actually leave, considering the fact that his wages, going to another club is going to be reduced? What's your take on this, Nubia Prince?
Good evening, guys, and the lady. I think people are pretty unfair to Harry Maguire, really. Yes, and I'm going to explain. Really, I think
please do.
He's been under a whole lot of pressure. Now, this guy moved from Leicester City to Manchester United. That was pressure on its own. He moved with a record transfer. That record transfer still subsists till today. Harry Maguire is the world's most expensive centre-back. That's another pressure on its own again. Now, you handed him the captaincy, triple pressure. Captain in Manchester United, while you are the most expensive player, so much of pressure. Now it's understandable he made a whole lot of errors. The errors could be from the pressure thing. Now I've heard a lot of people saying, "No, now he's forced to leave because he's been stripped of the captaincy." Who said so? You collected your captaincy from him does not mean he's going to leave. This guy still has 2 or 3 years left on his contract. Now everybody is saying, "Okay." The honest truth is, if he's going to leave Manchester United, he will have to take pay cut. I don't think he's going to do it. Players don't like taking pay cut. That's the honest thing. Yeah. If Manchester United are desperate to get him off their books, they will either, cancel his contract and pay him lump sum, or shift him to a club and agree to augment his wages. If they're not willing to do that, I see Harry Maguire staying in that club. Now, he might not eventually will get to play.
But he's not going to play.
He might not play regularly. He might not. Okay. If Lisandro Martinez gets injured and Varane gets injured,
and that's the only thing.
Will he not play?
He's not going to play. Do you know? Even if you watch last season, he preferred to use Luke Shaw.
Okay, Luke Shaw gets injured. If Luke Shaw gets injured, will he not play?
Lindelof is going to play.
You don't get. These players to get injured. You are in 4 competitions.
There are also players in the academy also that are coming up. Now, would
that not be ridiculous if you go to the academy and you have a player earning £200,000 on your bench? For crying out loud, how ridiculous is that? You are trying to make a statement at the cost of your pocket. It's not making sense.
So because of that, United should continue having
I'm waiting for
a player that makes mistakes.
I said when Arsenal were tired of Aubameyang, they found a way of getting rid of him. They did not collect transfer fee. They allowed him go to Barcelona for free. Barcelona in turn sold him to Chelsea for 15 million. When Arsenal were tired of Mesut Ozil, they paid him off. So if Man, you are tired of Maguire and his errors, they should pay him off. All this idea of stripping him of the captaincy and saying that will make him go. No, it's not going to work. He's not going to leave.
Shaya, do you agree with Nubia Prince on this one?
If you read the statement, it was clear. He said, "Okay, you've taken your captaincy. I still want to stay to fight for my shirt."
All right, Nubia Prince. Let me ask
this one, please.
No, hold on. Let me
my
ask
question.
Hold on. I know you're going to ask a question. Shaya, talk to me on what's your opinion. I mean, as consider the fact Harry Maguire is your best center, you love Harry Maguire so much. What's your opinion on this?
Well, weirdly, I actually like Maguire. I actually like Maguire, but I just feel he has been
he has felt so much pressure at Man United, which has more or less led to several errors. There are times when he's not even involved, the ball as he finds a way of protection of him into the goal for a goal against Man United. It's just so unfortunate, really, because he's someone who I feel people say he's not good on the ball, but I actually feel that's one of his strengths if he's used appropriately. He's someone who can carry the ball aggressively upfield. He has a pretty impressive passing range. So in that sense, it should actually be a plus for Man U. But I just feel the pressure of playing for the club, the pressure of the captaincy has actually has had an effect on his dip in performances over the last 12 to 18 months. Because let's not forget that when he joined Man United, he was actually one of the best centre backs in the Premier League. I think around that pandemic period, he was playing some pretty good stuff under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which was when he was under the captaincy. But I just feel maybe the pressure has been a bit too much for him, and it's going to a point now where I feel like I think it was Nubia who mentioned that, or you mentioned that whenever Varane or Martinez are actually
Martinez,
Luke Shaw is the preferred option at centre back as opposed to playing Maguire, who is a natural in that position. It just shows that I think he is maybe fifth in the pecking order, and once you're no longer in the manager's thinking, I think it's time to leave. But like Nubia Prince mentioned, I don't see any club matching Harry Maguire's wages, so that's also going to be an issue. So he has to take a pay cut if he wants to leave the club, which is unlikely to want to do. And also, the truth is, if he leaves Man U, he's going to go to a club that is of a lesser standing, and that might also not want to. That's also not going to be one of his. He's not going to be in his plans, obviously. So I feel he's going to. There's likelihood of him wanting to stay at Man U to fight for his place.
Yes. Let's quickly move on to the next one because of our time. Sorry, Margaret. We have to move on to the next one, and it's going to. I want to quickly talk before I bring on Declan Rice analysis, in which Okpa is going to truly elaborate more the reason why Declan Rice is going to make them win the next league next season. So because all Arsenal people are now they are already saying that they have won the league already. So Okpe is standing in by to give us the lyrics on this guy. But let's quickly talk about Harry Kane, which I think Bayern are already on the verge of signing him. And the person that is covering the story, Shaye, can you please elaborate more on this story? And also what we are seeing on the screen is the name of the coach is Ange. I think only
Ange Postecoglou.
Voila. Says chats with Nottingham striker was nothing earth shattering. So well, Shaya, please go ahead and give us an insight about what is going on in Tottenham in regards to Harry Maguire. Oh my goodness, Harry Kane going to Bayern. So, all right, talk to me. Share over to you on this one.
Yeah, I think for the Kane situation, obviously we know Spurs are demanding, or according to reports, they're demanding about £100 million to sell Harry Kane this summer. It's actually funny. Over the weekend, some very funny things happened with Bayern because I think on Friday or Saturday, Thomas Tuchel more or less tried to play around the point of Harry Kane joining Bayern. He didn't want to mention a player who plays for a different club and all those the basic things that coaches tend to talk about. But then Uliones, who is more or less Bayern's supremo, who behind the scenes is one of their strongest supremos. Really, he didn't dribble around the point. He actually talked about Harry Kane joining the club. He said that Harry Kane wants to join. He said Kane wants to leave Spurs and he wants to at least move to a place to win trophies and play and try and win things, which is what most fans have been crying and clamoring for regarding Harry Kane. So I feel that was more or less weird because it seems Tuchel and Uliones, maybe you can see there's a bit of disconnect there. I think that remains to be seen. But it just feels like they are trying to, or Uliones with those statements is trying to force the issue, more or less pressuring Spurs to make the sale. But personally, I know Daniel Levy, or I don't know him, but from what we've read and from previous antecedents,
Yes.
Those things don't really move him. Unless they get a fee that actually matches or is close to what the demand for Hurricane, they will not sell him. So it's up to Bayern to up their offer and maybe offer maybe 80 plus 20. Just have a package, a transfer fee package that actually matches 100 million pounds, because as far as I know with Daniel Levy and Spurs, they don't budge on those things unless
At
you actually meet
all.
their
Yeah.
asking price. So let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks. But for Spurs, I feel if they are going to sell him, they should make it fast, because for them to maybe rebuild and at least integrate their new signings into Postecoglou's team, they need to make that sale
Mm,
ASAP. Because if they leave it late in the window, that means
mm.
the new signings are playing catch up. So if they are going to make the sale, then they need to make it snappy, really.
Yes, yes, yeah. They need to make it snap, really. Prof, this guy, what do you think his legacy is going to be like if this guy moves to Bayern? Do you think his goal scoring record will go to? I mean, that will be the end. Do you what's your take on this? Do you feel it should go or it should just stay?
Yeah, to be surprised, to be honest, I'm surprised that the Bayern transfer news is gathering momentum,
I'm telling you.
because if I'm Harry Kane and I'm so close to breaking the Alan Shearer's record, I don't
Ah,
see myself going away. I've tried to find a solution in England, but it's obvious that Levy maybe doesn't want to sell him to any club in England. Obviously, Man United, we know, are the would have been the favourites to land him. Um, I still don't know. I think maybe he wants to go over there and get all these talks about him not winning a trophy. I think if you look at it, the top five leagues, there's
mm.
a guarantee that Kane, once he puts on that Bayern shirt, he's won a trophy already.
Yeah.
And then all that talk about trophies is dead and buried. And maybe he wants to do that a couple of years, and then the latter stages of his career, he can then come back to England,
Wow,
whatever
that's
team,
another
and
thing.
then run it out with the last few years, trying to make catch up Alan Shearer. He could have both. He could eat his cake and have it. So let's see how this pans out.
Hmm.
If he goes to Bayern, like I said, it's good for Levy. He doesn't want him in India. He can get his money. Kane can go get his trophy. Everybody's happy, and then he can come back for the record. So yeah, that's what I feel is going to happen.
All right, all right. Let's move on to the next one. This is for Arsenal fans. This moment, they've already signed this guy. Is already, I mean, ready to go. There was a tweet, or let me say, Arsenal Wenger said they already won the league or something. So this.
As Wenger did not say that. As Wenger did say he expects Arsenal to win the league. That's what he said. As being an Arsenal fan that he is, he expects Arsenal to win the league this season.
All right. I'm going to this particular one is for Okwade, but I also have he's joining us on this one. Please, over to you, Arsenal people. You can see my headline: Declan Rice is equal to Arsenal. All right, Okwe. Open the floor for us. What should we be expecting from Declan Rice? Somebody said is going to be like a Vieira or something. I read it somewhere. So, what are your expectations? What are your expectations on this guy? Go for it.
All right, then. Before I get to my expectations, I think I should shed a bit of light on the impacts that Declan Rice's move from West Ham to Arsenal has had probably right now. I think, first of all, we just need to state the fact that he's the most expensive British player right now in world football, and he's one of the most expensive midfielders, if I'm not mistaken. Or rather, ahead of Enzo right now, because his fee was a bit more than Enzo's own. So, I mean, Declan Rice's move to Arsenal is huge. Not just huge for the individual himself, but huge for Arsenal as well. For the last couple of years, Arsenal fans have been clamoring for the club to make big money signings, because we did say last season you cannot compete with the big boys if you do not have quality in depth. Now, yeah, some Arsenal fans will argue Granit Xhaka has left, right? But then they signed Kai Havertz, who we expect to play in that left-sided central midfield position. But then Declan Rice comes in, Thomas Partey is still at the club. So we're asking questions, what exactly is going to happen? And more on Declan Rice's fee, just before I get into team talks, and considering how much Arsenal has spent this transfer window. We signed Kai Havertz for £65 million, signed Jurgen Timber for £34.6 million, and then people will see the £100 million pound price tag with £5 million in additions, But brilliantly, Arsenal took a page out of Chelsea's script talking about the owners of Chelsea. Now, the fee for Declan Rice is not going to be paid immediately. It's going to be spread over 24 months.
Wow.
Right? So West Ham will receive the fee of the 100 million over 2 years. But you know what? In terms of finances, it's already looking like great business because in 2 days, Arsenal have made 35 million pounds in shirt sales with Declan Rice's name on the jersey and his number. So I mean, that's about 12% of what they spent already made back. So you know that that's basically good business.
Good business.
Now Declan Rice coming into the Arsenal squad, and what should Arsenal fans expect? First of all, it is clear that he's going to be playing in midfield. Where in midfield now is the question. I look at the game against Nuremberg, Arsenal's first official preseason game, and I could see that Ben White was playing more inverted than usual. A lot of times last season, it was Zinchenko that occupied that inverted role, and then you have Ben White as one of the 3 centre backs. He was more inverted than usual. That obviously means to me that Jurgen Timber would be playing in that role. He would be giving Ben White a run for his money, and there will be times where Jurgen Timber would start ahead of Ben White in that right back role. But now talking about Declan Rice, where does he fit in? The first thing that comes to mind is that Thomas Partey is displaced. But taking a look at Thomas Partey, who has been the glue for Arsenal, for the last 2 seasons, how do you displace someone like that? It's not easy. The best thing for Arsenal to do is actually to sell Thomas Partey and bring in another player who would be a good number for him, a good backup for him, someone in Romeo Lavia of Southampton who has been rumored to possibly be joining Arsenal. Rumor has it as well that Arsenal are not closing their eyes to Felipe Caicedo, who has been in a topsy-turvy romance with Chelsea for, the best part of this transfer window. So time will tell exactly. Partey did not follow the squad to the US. There are no clear reports as to why he has not joined up with the squad. Arsenal only said he will join the squad alongside with Emil Smith-Rowe next week. Rumor has it that he has actually agreed a deal with an unnamed Saudi club, and it's just a matter of time till the deal is announced. Personally, I do not want Thomas Partey to go. I can only imagine Thomas Partey in that regular number 6 role and having Declan Rice just ahead of him. And then you would have Kai Havertz as an impact player from the bench. But then you think about it, a £65 million player, what would he be doing on the bench? It really doesn't seem feasible. And that only takes my attention to Arsenal and Mikel Arteta transitioning the team from the way we play with 4 defenders to 3 at the back, majorly to accommodate someone like Declan Rice, playing the same style of football that Manchester City did towards the end of last season. So I'm talking about a 3-1-4-2. So you have rather a 3-2-4-1. So you have the 3 centre backs. Most likely you would have a Gabriel, you would have a Saliba, who, as far as I'm concerned, is untouchable in that team, and a Ben White. The double pivots you would expect to either be Zinchenko and Declan Rice, or Declan Rice and Thomas Partey. But it's quite difficult to see how Zinchenko will be taken out of the team, considering that he has spent only 1 season and he's also seen as an impact player in the Arsenal squad. And then the 4 going forward then gives license to Kai Havertz to be a mainstay in the Arsenal squad. The 4 going forward, you would have Gabriel Martinelli, Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and up front, Gabriel Jesus. So I could see that from the game against Nuremberg, I could see that the fullbacks were more inverted than usual. I saw that with Gabriel, with Yakukiwo. I saw that with Ben White. So it seems to me that they might slowly be progressing towards that. However, time will tell on how exactly Declan Rice would fit into this Arsenal squad. But at the end of the day, he's a quality signing. He's going to hit the ground running. Either he's playing as a lone number 4, as the holding midfielder, but he's playing as a box-to-box midfielder. He has the qualities, he can do that. In terms of, giving accurate passes, long, short, in terms of scoring goals, he's right up there, being a threat in midfield. But most importantly is the mentality that this young man has. At the age of 23, captaining West Ham to win their first European trophy in 102 years, already a mainstay in the English squad, can effectively play as a centre-back and a holding midfielder. But it's that winning mentality, it's that leadership ability, which Arsenal lacked maybe in the last 2 seasons before. But now you have more winners into the team. You have people who are going to, drive their teammates to success. Declan Rice said it himself, look, enough of FA Cups and Community Shields. It's time for Arsenal to go ahead to win the Premier League and to win the Champions League. But yeah, time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. Oh my goodness, Arsenal fans. Prof, help me. You remember how we did last season?
No, this
All right.
season is
This
going
is
to be a
it.
lot tougher. They look stronger,
Yeah.
Arsenal football.
Yeah.
But personally, I think I understand the analysis that Ope gave. But personally, I'm seeing something different with this Arsenal team and what Ateta wants to do. I think he wants to go back to. Obviously, we know how important it was with the Man City side, especially the Centurion side. I think he wants to go back to that 4-3-3 formation that City used at the time with Raheem Sterling and Sane on the width, and I think Aguero up front. Then they used David Silva, De Bruyne, and Fernandinho. So I think what he wants to do, and then at that moment, at that time, the fullbacks didn't move; they were inverted. That was when he came and introduced the inverted fullbacks. And because I saw the clips, I saw the highlights of the friendlies. Like Okwe said, the fullbacks right now they're not moving. He used Kiwo on left back. I think he used Zeke Timber or was it White he used on the right, and then they are
Ben
not.
White.
They are, both of them Ben White, and both of them are inverted, and that was how City did with the Centurion side. The both fullbacks were inverted. They had a lone DMF, and they had almost two AMF in David Silva and De Bruyne, and two wingers who were flying forward in Sterling and Sane. And so I think he might want to go that using Rice. I think he might want to duplicate that sort of formation. Also, it's still yet to be seen. You could as well go to the three at the back, like Ope said. But me personally, I'm looking at it and I'm like, you've done something last season that's worked for you. For me, it was more of a mentality issue that that made people stumble, and maybe a squad a depth in squad. Yeah, that maybe the injuries here and there. I'm looking at it now. I'm like, you're changing a massive. It's the engine room here. Thomas Partey and Shaka, who understood each other, who were very, very fantastic for the majority of the season. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, you're changing that now. I think there's still a lot left. We don't know what we're going to get from that Arsenal engine. I mean, we know what we're going to get from the defense and the attack, but that midfield. I know Rice is a quality player, but it's a different ball game now. He knows he has to step up because it's not West Ham now. It is Arsenal football. You'll be playing in the Champions League. Rice will be expected to start every game in the Champions League and also in the Premier League. So there'll be massive pressure on him. Can he do it alone in that middle of the park, losing party? Do you guys need to go into the market again and sign somebody so that that will pair with him? What is the formation going to look like with Havertz in there? The other day Arteta was saying that time will tell where Havertz will play. It shows he himself is sort of looking for. He will be using this international break to look for a position for him. So I think the whole thing is on Arteta's table. We'll see what he's going to do with the team. But personally, I think they're a little bit weaker if they lose, Partey and Ashaka like they have done already. It's just replacing him with Rice alone. I think they'll be weaker in the middle of the park.
All right. Thank you so much on that, Prof. Ace is joining us this evening. Ace, what's your take on this Declan Rice? I think next season you guys have to win the league. For me, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's good to be on the show, man. Good evening, everybody. No pressure. Don't put pressure on us, man. Don't put pressure. We just want to enjoy it. Yeah, Rice. Rice.
The pressure is already on you guys, so chill.
Well, there's no pressure, man. There's no pressure. If
the
pressure is not on, if the pressure is only on Arsenal, then why is Eric Ten Hag stripping Maguire of the captaincy? Of the captain?
We knew what happened last season. Everywhere, it was not.
The pressure is everywhere. Just a piece of advice. I think you guys should just get Maguire off your wage bill, because if I'm Maguire, I'm here to stay. I'm not moving an inch, and I'll collect every penny. But that's by the way. Declan Rice,
yes,
it's I saw one funny, Twitter, Nigerian Twitter were very intuitive, very innovative. I saw one picture where someone made edited Declan Rice jersey and say a bag of rice is now 41k. Nigerians are so good. But the thing is, I've heard what Okwe said and I've heard what Prof said. This signings really, nobody can really say this is what Arteta is going to do. It's all permutation, it's all combination, it's all theories that we're just wrapping up. But only Arteta knows what he's going to do, and I'm so sure that Arteta and his team are not naive. They know what they're doing. like I said, they know what they've been building. So they are not just going to throw everything away and say because we're signing new players, so therefore let's start all over again. No, it's still going to be a build-up from last season. It's still going to be an addition to what they've been doing for the past 2 or 3 seasons, if I may say. Because Declan Rice coming in, I would like Partey to stay because I've been hearing news all around saying Partey has agreed with the Saudi Arabian team. And though we've not heard officially from the main guys that we hear from, which is Fabrizio and David Oyston. It's all the ITKs on Twitter that just keeps posting Partey has agreed personal deal with the Saudi Arabian club. They are not even mentioning the Saudi Arabian club. That's why I'm not a bit worried about that, because Partey himself came a few weeks ago to say he would love to play Champions League football with Arsenal. And that was the reason he joined Arsenal, to take Arsenal back to Champions League. And now that Arsenal is there, he's here to stay. He doesn't want to go. But you know, football, anything can happen. Things happen so fast. Money rules, money talks. But Declan Rice addition to Arsenal, he can play as a 6, he can play as an 8, he can play as a central defender. And this has always been what this has always been what Arteta wanted in every player he wants to sign. Players that can play multiple roles. Players that can, deputize if somebody is injured. At least with Declan Rice coming in, it gives that midfield a bit of a reshape, or he can even just slot in straight into the role Xhaka left. Because I was looking at Declan Rice comps so someone did a compilation of Declan Rice video of Declan Rice past games with West Ham, playing in that box-to-box kind of playing in that Xhaka role that Xhaka played last season. And I'm thinking in my head that if Declan Rice steps into that role, oh my God, how many goals did we score last season? I think we scored 80-something goals. Because one, he knows how to score. He knows the back of the net. He knows how to find the back of the net. And if Arteta could just deploy him where he deployed Xhaka last season, it's just going to take Arsenal from this level to the next level. Maybe we pray he doesn't get injured. Maybe we pray he doesn't have this lengthy injury, stays fit. And I just see Arsenal, getting solidified. And if Man City there makes that mistake that they made last season, whereby they allowed us to have that run, possibly lightning don't strike twice. Possibly Arsenal might nick this one. But I'm not saying we're winning the trophy. I'm saying we're winning the league. But I just see us, we've added, we've strengthened. There will be some exit. To confirm that today, that some players would exit through the door, and possibly there will be a new addition. But in my own opinion, I feel we're still short a bit. Only if we can get a striker. I've always of the opinion if we can get a striker, if we want to compete in the league, if we want to compete in the Champions League, if we can do our maths properly in terms of net spend, players out, players coming in, like Ope said, we've already made £5 million out of the 105 million pounds that we signed Declan Rice. That's over 30% or close to 30% of the sign-on fee, which was supposed to pay in 24 months. That's money recouped wisely. And I don't mind us going in for Osimhen, because if you really want to win, you really want to make a statement, this is our club. So I don't mind us going in for Osimhen. It's my wish. If I was in that board, I'll be saying, let us go in for Osimhen. The likes of Nketiah, the likes of Balogun can go on loan. If we want to compete, we shouldn't be relying on the likes of Nketiah, relying on the likes of Balogun. Even Jesus is not the striker that will give you 25. Gabriel Jesus, he's not the player that will give you. He's not guaranteed to give you 25, 30 goals in the season. So we need that kind of striker that we can mix things up. I keep saying it. Arteta needs to mix things up. You'll definitely be found out, which happened last season. And when it got to crunch time, we couldn't mix things up. A player, someone in the ilk of Osimhen will give us different dimension, will give us different dynamics in terms of offense and in terms of playing, or especially when we're home, when those players will sit at the back and defend. Someone like Osimhen can give us a difference in style of play. So Declan Rice is a good signing, and I wish Arsenal the very best in the coming season.
Yeah, but Ace, who would you? Ace made a statement. He said he wants Declan Rice in the box-to-box role. So who do you who's going to play the four, the DMF role? Who's going to sit
Party
and defend?
stays. If Party
Yeah, but
stays,
Opa is saying
if
now
Party
that
stays,
Party did not travel. They don't travel. They didn't travel with you guys
well,
to the US.
it was on the Arsenal's website. I think for one reason or the other, they said they will be joining. Party and Emo
Oh,
Smith
okay.
Rowe too didn't go. He has not joined,
Okay.
but they will be joining next week. So I guess maybe there are still issues that the issues of this rape allegation is still there. Possibly that's what he wants to try to. I'm just saying. I'm just postulating.
All right, let's move on to this one. Nubia Prince, I'm telling you, this great man, the greatest, the GOAT himself is right now unveiled in MLS. What's your take on this, Nubia Prince? Talk to me. Nubia Prince, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can, the Don.
All right, what's your take on this one?
Yeah, for me, of course, the GOAT is in the US, and we know what's going to happen there. I mean, everywhere is going ballistic. He understands the market. Everybody thought that when leaving PSG was going to go back to Barcelona or Saudi Arabia. I think the offer from Saudi Arabia was crazy, but someone was trying to explain it and said, "Oh, at US, he was able to buy into the MLS." He was able to buy into the MLS, MLS franchise, and overall, over time, he's going to make more money playing for Miami than playing in Saudi Arabia. So obviously, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
So obviously, it's a good way to wrap up his career. He's done everything in there to do in Europe. I mean, he's won the Ballon d'Or 7 times, record 7 times. Nobody comes close. And who knows, he might even be winning it, He might even be winning it after winning the World Cup for the 8th time. Definitely nobody's going to ever come close. So I think he's done so well in Europe. And if he decides to go to the US to wrap up his career, it's a good way, it's a fitting way to end a very glorious and remarkable career. So for me, I think he's done well.
All right. Let's move on to this.
I have a question on Messi, though. I don't know if I can. It's just something I'm pondering about. He's moved to a club that is last in the standings. Now I know there is no relegation in the US, but if as Messi arrives, Inter Miami's results don't improve. I'm just beginning to think how the reaction would be and all. I think it's not going to be good for him. So I think Inter Miami
people just want to go see this guy. They don't want to know whether Inter
Miami. You are still talking about improved results. We are talking about
they just want to
landed America. You are talking about results.
They don't care about winning.
No,
they just want to win now.
But don't wait. But it's going to be awkward because I mean, this is someone who everyone knows. It's all up. He's a born winner and all of that. And then it's always no. See, let's be real. It's going to make headlines because if Inter Miami don't improve, I think
nothing they happen.
Okay. All right. No problem.
Just understand something. Sorry, the Don. Something you need to understand for players in the ilk of Messi, Ronaldo. See, at this point in time,
I don't buy tickets.
Because right now, Miami is a destination in America where a lot of people go for holiday, summer holiday. This summer holiday already, you could just, if you have an intel into hotels over there in Miami, you would know they are booked already. Because there will be games this summer.
Thank you, Derek. Results.
Results.
It's all for business. It's all for business.
It's all right.
Let's move on to the next one. Messi, you are welcome. See me soon. All right, Wimbledon on this one. Kule, Wimbledon, this guy dismissed Djokovic. I can't just believe it. What's your take on that?
It was I have to give him kudos because I actually thought that he was going to be the one to like at some point that the longer the match went, he was going to tire. He looked tired. I mean, even in his post-match press conference, you could see
I'm having a feedback from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Sorry, just a minute.
Okay, did you watch the game?
Honestly, it was one of the most exciting Wimbledon finals we've had. Very, very time. Big shout out to Carlos Alcaraz. I think he did. I mean, just 20 years old. He has done something that someone his age finds it really difficult to do because he was up against some of the best veterans that we've had in a long time. I mean, Novak Djokovic, I have to say, since the back end of towards the end of, in fact, from the end of 2020, I see a very laid back Novak Djokovic, someone who probably feels like he has had it easy, since the retirement of Federer and Nadal. Because even at that time, both Federer and Nadal were winding down in their careers. They were finding it difficult to, get wins, especially in major Grand Slams. But, Djokovic seemed to have had it easy, especially last year. But Carlos Alcaraz is someone who has been on the up, steady moving up the ranks in terms of the ITF. But I definitely do not expect Alcaraz to actually win against Djokovic. And Alcaraz has this high level of athleticism, and he reminds me a lot of Nadal, and he makes risky moves on the court. But, at the end of the day, I think Djokovic probably felt he could tip him over with his experience. And maybe after the tiebreak, he felt like he could take him to another tiebreak. But Alcaraz was having none of it, and he was ready to bring that trophy home. And he's a rich boy right now. So congratulations to Carlos Alcaraz.
Yes, congratulations to him. Kunle, talk.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So about Alcaraz, I think, like I said, I think it was surprising to me because I felt Djokovic was going to come back, depending on as the game wore on. But Alcaraz actually showed a lot of strength. He showed a lot of grit, and I think this can show that maybe time is already coming up for Djokovic. He's going to be 35. He's going to be. I think he's going to 36. So I guess at the end of the day, he should actually probably be thinking about winding down his career because Alcaraz, as we saw yesterday, is loaded.
Massively.
He is really, really loaded. That was an impressive performance from him, and I hope he can do better. But then it's not all. There's another chance at the US Open. Funny enough, Alcaraz is the champion, but it'd be nice to see both of them go at it again. I'm sure Djokovic will be going back to reassess maybe what he has done. Because let's not forget, Djokovic is a mentality monster. Like he thrives on winning. So there's still a long. He will still play next year. The Olympics are coming up. So I think it's not the end of Djokovic, as maybe some might think. But it would be nice to see and Alcaraz go against each other more.
All right. Let's quickly, because of our time, I'm going to ask Margaret what's going on with the Women's World Cup. It's about to go down this week. I think Nigeria will be playing on Thursday or something. So, what do you think? That's the question I have there. Who will win Women's 21st? Yeah. Who do you think is going to win the World Cup? If I want to ask you, Margaret.
Wow. Well, the FIFA Women's World Cup will actually start rolling on July 20, and we'll see. Already, all eyes right now will be on England because when we look at what their performance in the Women's Euro, they actually perform very well, and there are high expectation that they will continue from where they actually stopped. They have brilliant individual players that have done very well, especially players from Chelsea, from Arsenal. We see a whole lot of them in that England squad, and also let's not forget the United States. They are the current champions. I think they are also the record holders. So that's another country that we have to look. We have to also look at, and then the host, Australia. Also, they have a very brilliant, their captain Sam Kerr. Brilliant individual. She alone can actually take Australia to at least to quarterfinal or semi-final in this tournament. So when we talk about currently,
I think I lost Margaret there. Margaret, I lost you there. I can't hear you.
Hello, Didon?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay, like I was saying that we'll be looking at number one, one of the favorites to actually win this tournament will be England. And then we shouldn't forget Australia, the host. Not Canada, they're also there. They won the 2020 Olympic in Tokyo. So they're also one of the favorites in this tournament. So, but our Nigerian, they've not given Nigerian that Nigerian actually not one of the favorites to win. You can imagine the odds that is actually against Nigeria, the Super Falcon. It's actually incredible.
It's not funny.
Because it's not funny at all. When I looked at the odds, I said, what? So does it mean that there is no actually hope for the Super Falcon? They're actually the underdogs as it is right now. Even in that group, there's the prediction that it's between Canada and Australia, the host, that will qualify from that group stage. So I just hope that Nigeria will be able to prove them wrong and then qualify from that group stage and do more better than the last time they went to the World Cup. But then we're waiting for July 20 to see another exciting or one of the best World Cup, Women's World Cup ever.
Yes, on that note, I want to ask Sheye to please, do you think Nigeria can come out from this group? We have Australia, Ireland, and Canada. What's your take on this, Sheye, lastly?
Well, to be fair, I think the fact that preparation has been has been awfully messy is why I'm not optimistic, because I want to believe it's going to have an effect on the players. If it doesn't, then I think I'll be really pleased by their mental strength, because you can tell that all is not well in that camp. I obviously I'll hope for the best, but I'm prepared for a group stage exit, really.
Wow. Okwe, what do you think about this? Can Nigeria come out very well from this group? What's your take on this?
We just need to hit the ground running. But if I'm being honest, I find that difficult to believe. Compared to the other teams in this tournament, not just our group, we've had limited days as a team at the same training camp. And there've been some notable absentees for me. There are a couple of players who I feel should have made the squad. But at the end of the day, it's the coach's final decision. And I hope these are actually the best 23 players that can bring the trophy home for Nigeria. And as a nation, we need something to take our minds off what is going on in the country in terms of the current economic states and the recent dealings that have been going on in the world of sports that have made us start asking questions. So I wish the Super Falcons all the best. Hopefully they can bring the trophy home for us. And a big shout out to Sporting Lagos for winning the first ever Super E tournament.
How do you know? I want to ask Ace about that game. He used to give us what happened in that game.
Okay, first off, let me just touch on the Women World Cup. You see, Okpa is saying hopefully. That's what we always depend in this part of the world. We depend on heroics. We depend on someone going in there to be the superwoman or to be that alien or that person with that willpower to do the unthinkable. But we don't believe in processes. Canada, USA, England that we're talking about, they put processes in place. This World Cup in 2023, they started preparing 4 years ago, and we were struggling with bonuses. And you think we'll go there and defeat those who are prepared, who have worked hard, who have put things in place? Let's stop deceiving ourselves. I'm just going to go down the line of Share. See, we will be knocked out of the group. Even if we qualify out of the group, it's by luck, and we even make it as far. But that's by the way. Sporting Lagos, there was a great atmosphere there yesterday.
I tell you.
See, the last time I witnessed such was in year 2000, Nigeria Cameroon, the African Cup of Nations final. When I went there with my elder brother, I was a little kid then, still young, and I've never seen, though the capacity was 10,000. So, and the funny thing that really made the crowd, made people turn up for that match, because I had an info that in the camp of Remo Stars, there are 4 players that are from Lagos Island, and in the camp of Sporting Lagos, there are 4 to 3 players too that are from Lagos Island. So you understand that people turned up. The stadium is not far away from Lagos Island. So it was like football is back in Lagos. But the thing is, we've been here before, we've done it. We've been here before, we've seen stuff like this. And when these private companies that are financing this club go broke, we don't hear anything. But Remo Stars and Sporting Lagos have created that avenue where you would see that when private investment goes into something, you would see the yield, as compared to, with all due respect to other teams in Nigeria where they are being run with state money. It's not going to push you far, because each of these states right now have issues to face with our economic situation. That's another kettle of fish. So it was a good atmosphere yesterday. It was loud, it was banging, even if there was a bit of officiating. There was an officiating error, a clear goal that was not given. There was no VAR. I think the organizers can do better, even if throughout this competition there was no provision for VAR. But at least the final, they should have made provision for VAR for issues like that. But it was great atmosphere, and this is poised for next season. This will turn into a local derby between Sporting Lagos and Remo Stars. And we saw a player in Junior Lokosa who played for Remo Stars not too long ago, like a few weeks ago. Sporting Lagos signed him up, and he scored one of the penalties yesterday. And he was not even remorseful. He was jubilating,
Wow.
in front of his former owners. But that's life. He has never won any trophy locally, but he has won a trophy with Sporting Lagos. And I think this is another potential derby we'll see in the Nigerian League next season. Remo Stars versus Sporting Lagos.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. This is how far we can go. But before we go, we are Istv is sponsoring this postgraduate game. That's Muritala Mohammed Postgraduate Hall of Residence at Obafemi Awolowo University. Inter-France football competition is going to be powered by this channel called Intercontinental Sport TV. That's Istv. We will be the one sponsoring the game, so it's going to be loud. So we'll be putting on all the games live, record from the game, from the stadium. The game is going to start on July 22 from 7 a.m. So you can hook up on this channel. So it's going to be loud. This is the first time we'll be associating with this Nigerian student, and I tell you, it's going to be a very, very good one. So also this week the football game is going to also start with the Women's World Cup. Robbie will be on standby with me as well. We'll be doing some updates from the competition. So I want to say big thank you to every one of you guys, the analysts and the crew, Istv crew. This season is going to be loud, and I can see Okwe is also ready for us. Is going to be doing Arsenal anytime the game is going on, going to the next season is going to be on Okwe Reacts on Arsenal, just because of Arsenal. I want to thank you, Okwe, for joining us on this one. This is how far we can go, Okwe. Please tell your crew, share this video, smash the like on the video. Let's talk about Istv. We are moving up. So, Okwe, thank you on this one.
Always a pleasure to be on Istv. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, also, I want to say big thank you to you for joining us on this one.
Thanks, Don. Always a pleasure.
All right, thank you so much. Only show this city anytime, any day. Thank you for joining us on this one.
Thanks a lot, boss. I appreciate it.
All right. Nubian Prince, father before father. Banter next season. Tell the viewers what they should be expecting on Banter show. Your corner.
Come next season, the Banter's corner is going to be hot. It's going to be hot. You see, Pepri,
you didn't hear that. All right.
Thanks, John, for always.
All right. One love, bro. Hey, East, what's going on? Talk to me. It's gonna be loud.
Yeah, man. I'm here. Good to be on the show, man. Thank you for having me, man.
All right, I appreciate you so much, bro. Margaret, the Iron Lady. It's gonna be loud next season. Don't mind that. Mayu is gonna take the lead.
Of course.
All right, thank you on this one. One love.
Oh, thank you for having me, the Don.
All right, people, this is how far we can go. This is the Dawn. They call me the Dawn of Sport Entertainment. Going to the next one. We're going to be here this weekend. Before the weekend. Please smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. What are you waiting for? Smash the like on the video. Share this broadcast. Let's move on. I love you guys. On this one, the Dawn is signing out. On to the next one. Bye for now.